So I've decided to start World of Warcraft retail on a fresh start in 2024 in anticipation of the new expansions to come. Well, not really 100% refresh, but I'll explain that here in just a few minutes. My brother and I have been talking about getting back into World of Warcraft, so we decided to get back into it, and I kind of had an idea for when we did get back into it. For me, he won't be following this, but I will. I'm going for what I'm calling a triple crown before the next expansion comes out. I'll explain the details of what that means here again in just a moment. However, I wanted to make this more interesting, so I wanted to go about it in a different way. Not playing tunes that I've been playing on and off for years, but I wanted to randomize how I was going to do this. First, I'm going to go over my character selections, then give you what the goals are, followed by the rules that I've set for myself. So, to start, what faction? This was pretty easy, we could just flip a coin on it. I represented Alliance, my brother represented Horde. He called it Mid-Air of Tales, which luckily it landed on, so it saved us from having to play Alliance tunes. I wanted to do what a newer player would do as well, so I avoided tanks and healers, but I needed to choose a class. So I removed Evoker from the list and I rolled a d12, landing on 12, which was selection of a Death Knight. This led to another roll of a d20, Unholy being even, Frost being odd numbers. I landed on a 7, so Frost it is. Now, I have barely ever played a Death Knight, very, very little in Wrath, and I've definitely never played Frost, only been Unholy, so this is going to be pretty interesting for me. If I were a new player, assuming they pre-ordered the War Within, they would get a free 70 Raid Ready boost, so I wanted to use that boost on this character. Don't really have the opportunity to level the character and really learn the class, so it's going to take a little bit extra time for that. I did go ahead and roll another d12 to determine race, which landed on 4, was giving me the High Mountain Tauren. Now I know new players wouldn't have this race, but I wanted to keep it fully random. I don't think that this really gives an advantage either. Server was chosen at random and a battle group not attached to my main server, which is Tichondrius on the US. So we went to the Emberstone battle group, and then I rolled another d12, and that landed us here. Now for the rules that I've set for myself, I can only find a guild through trade chat or through the guild finder. No researching of top guilds or anything, really just pure luck of the draw. I can't use any resources from other tunes. I can level other tunes later, but cannot trade anything from them to this specific tune. I won't need that anyways. They really gave you 5k gold in huge bags when you did use the boost from the expansion purchase. Obviously, I cannot use any boosting services through the trade chat, which don't do that stuff anyways. My brother is returning back to the game as well. He's going to be playing with me. As of right now, he's leveling a hunter. He's not following the same restrictions that I am, but he will go to whatever guild I go to. So we kept him DPS, that way it wouldn't make an unfair advantage in queues or anything. He also be using a character from a level 70 boost. To give a little background here, he played a lot back in Vanilla, BC, Wrath, Cataclysm, but really fell off after that, so it's not like he's going to be carrying me through things. We're really going to be learning things together as we go. So earlier I mentioned the Triple Crown. So I'm looking to do this in 3 different tiers, being Raids, Mythic Plus, and Rated PvP. There will be a Bronze, Silver, and Gold tier. The Bronze tier obviously will be pretty easy and should be a pretty fast checklist, which would be the normal completion of the current raid, all bosses killed, a plus 10 key completed of any dungeon, and a rated PvP ranking of 1500 in any bracket. Now the silver tier will have a little bit of a higher requirement, being a heroic raid completed of the current raid, unlocking ahead of the curve, so killing all bosses. So ahead of the curve is the final boss, but obviously we have to kill all of them. A plus 10 key completed for every dungeon, and then also a rated PvP ranking of 1800 in any bracket, and I have to unlock the PvP mount. Now, Gold tier, this is obviously going to be pretty hard. I don't know that I'll make it before the expansion, especially on a new class, but shoot for the moon and land in the stars. This would be a mythic raid completion of the current raid, all bosses killed, a plus 15 key in every dungeon, and a gladiator ranking in PvP. I'm honestly looking forward to this. I've had a love and hate relationship with WoW, and I'm just a big MMO player. I like to play MMOs. So ultimately, I think that this is going to be challenging, but also keep me engaged in the game. I've been spending a little bit of time learning the spec, running some just heroic dungeons. We did a little bit of looking for raid last night, just to kind of get an idea for the rotations and everything like that. It's definitely going to be a learning curve for me, so I do look forward to that, because I'm really just having to learn it from the ground up. So I guess we'll see how this goes, if I can get this tune where I need it before the next expansion releases. Make sure to subscribe so you can see the journey from here on out, and I'll see y'all in the next one.